What's one thing we can do over the holiday season to significantly decrease our stress? What's one thing, according to my dad, Blair Ford, who died over 30 years ago? My name is Jen McBride, and I have a YouTube channel, All Is Light, and I love to provide simple tips to help decrease our stress, increase our health and happiness in our life. This one is probably pretty controversial, and I shared a short, and I just really feel like I need to share a little more about why I shared this and how it helped us. So, the number one tip to help decrease stress over the holidays is to stay home, according to my dad. So, my mom and dad had 6 little girls, and over the holidays, we spent time as a family. We didn't go travel to see great grandparents, grandparents, aunts, uncles. We spent time with our family. Thanksgiving was at our home. Christmas was at our home. Christmas Eve was at our home. And it was a pretty stressless holidays. Like, we had enough other stress with my parents' illnesses and other things going on. Christmas was a time we could just be together with our family. My dad, even when a child was born, it was very important for him to bond with the baby. He and my mom bonded with the baby, and they would spend time alone with the baby, and he would ask visitors not to come for several days or a week. It was just their time as they got this baby into the sleep routine, as they just spent time together bonding. So Christmas was sort of like that, and my dad had grown up in a home where his parents got divorced when he was 1 year old. So in 1950, his parents got divorced, and both of his parents remarried, and his dad had 2 other girls, and my dad went back and forth between the homes. So I can totally see why he sort of set this boundary for our family, that Christmas and Thanksgiving and many holidays we just spent at home. And he protected the holiday with this nice friendly fence of like, hey, if you want to come, feel free to come, but we're not leaving our home. We're not traveling with all these kids. We're not going to go stay in a different place. We want to be in our home over the holidays. I can see why he would do this. And as a child, I don't even think I really recognized it. It wasn't actually until my dad died and my stepmom drove us around everybody to see everybody that I'm like, oh, this is not cool. This is not comfortable. This is stressful to try to see everybody and make sure everybody feels loved and feels like we visited them and spent the same amount of time with them. And I think that's just something my dad wanted to avoid. Was he wanted to make sure as a family we had that time together, and it was our tradition, that family's tradition, my mom, my dad, and me and my sisters. So I can totally see why he did this growing up in a family with divorced parents, that he was traded back and forth. And I can see how we had 3 sets of grandparents when we were little. So how do we divide between the 3 grandparents? We stay at home 1 year, and then every other year, you only see them every 4 years. So what he did do, and what they chose to do, was we would do other family holidays on days that weren't the actual holiday. We would do things maybe the Sunday or another day and bring everybody together. So the actual holiday we spent together as a family, but we would celebrate Christmas or Thanksgiving other times with our relatives if they wanted to do something on a different day with our family. And that seemed to work really well. Now, I don't know if there were some World War IIIs. I don't know if people were offended. I was just a little kid, and this is what worked for us. But I think sometimes as newlyweds or new families with little kids, we sometimes feel tempted that we have to visit everybody on the holidays, that we have to travel with the little kids to see the grandparents and to do these things. And we need to be prayerful and think about our families and the stress levels and the kids and work schedules and what can work best. If you love going and visiting all the families and it isn't stressful, go for it. But if it is a little stressful, what is another time you could celebrate Christmas with your parents or grandparents? What is a time you could go visit Aunt Lucy? What is a time you could go do these things? Is there a different way you could approach it that can decrease the stress? This is just one thing that really blessed my family growing up. We had so many other challenges. By choosing to have Christmas and Thanksgiving at home, reduce the stress of not having to travel, not having to be in someone else's space. And then people could come visit and spend time with us if they wanted. So my grandparents could come up, they could go see other kids. We weren't offended. We could do a holiday or a party the other day. another day that worked best for everybody. So one simple tip, as you and your family unite, as you and your spouse, or you and your spouse and your children start having a family, that you can start your own family traditions. You do not have to go visit everybody. And some people might be a little offended, but other people might be really appreciative and understanding and like, hey, when's another time we can get together? We'd love to see you. We love you, but we just want to keep the stress levels down for our kids and to begin our own traditions. So that's one thing, one tip from my dad. I don't have kids, so I don't know how difficult it is or isn't, but I know as a child that was very beneficial to be able to have the holidays at home and spend time with my parents and then go visit grandparents on other days. Plus, it wasn't as much traffic, I think, traveling. So thank you for joining me in Morning Messages of Hope and Inspiration. If you like these messages, please like, subscribe, and share. And if this would start World War III, please comment below if you said, hey, I'm not coming to your parents for the holidays. If it might start World War III, please comment below. And don't blame the messenger. This is my dad's tip. He's in heaven and he's been gone 30 years. So blame him for this tip. Thanks so much. Have a great day and happy holidays.